I've always been about Pleasant, born and raised, same street. I lived in the same house till I was 30. My parents moved out and I stayed and raised my kids in my house. And then I moved 2 driveways down to another house, and I've just always been there. That's my street. And my daddy's a dairy farmer, so I'm a country girl and we run the streets, and you know, so that's how I raised my kids. My mom left when I was 12, so I was raised by my dad basically. She came back when I was 20, so that's where we were at. Daddy did it all. So, and then I had my kids, and then me and their dad were together for 15 years, and we realized that we were better friends than relationship, and we are best friends now, and a lot better than when we lived together. And he still comes to family gatherings with my kids, and life is great for us. Well, after he left, I kind of took a dark road. I thought that I needed to party, drink, and I already had Allie in my life at that point, and she tried to steer me out of that, and I didn't want anything to do with that. Like, I wanted to party. That's where it was at. I had been in a relationship since I was 18. I missed that party stage of my life, and I thought at 32 it was time to do it. And after about a year and a half of that, and Allie and Amy telling me to just try Propel, they drug me in there one Sunday and they were like, just try it. If you don't like it, we won't force you to come back. And we came one Sunday and my kids were hooked and I was hooked, and we knew we had to be there. And we've been there ever since, and it took about a month and a half, and we all 3 got saved, and we all 3 got baptized together. I got baptized with my kids and Allie's kids all on the same day. Very special to me that we all did it together. And I've been trying to change my life ever since then, and I mean, there's some dark times, but it's definitely totally different knowing that he's there with me. I had some pretty rough times. Like, there's a lot of things that, like my mom, and she had her 3rd brain surgery. The first one, I did not have faith in God. I pretty much stressed that myself. This last one, I knew he had me, and I felt his comfort when I was even at the hospital. I felt him there with me. I knew he had me. And there's times where, as I deal with depression, I feel like the whole world's just caving in. And there's days when I feel like I can't get out of bed anymore. And I used to just lay there for 2 or 3 days. And now I pull out scripture and I read it, and I know I can get up and I know I can go on and face the day. And it's just, I'm so much more at peace with life itself. I feel a peace that I've never felt before. So it's definitely a life-changing experience. And to see it in my kids and hear my kids talk about God, and when they're having a rough time, I know they go and they pray about it, which is very, very important to me. I do not want them to grow up with the stressors that I did, because I'm definitely a stressor. And they just I seen a huge change in them when they found God. So I'm so thankful for everything that's come along to us. So the support system that we have is unimaginable. I didn't know that I could have that much support. And I feel the prayers when there's something bad going on. I can feel that I have that there with me. The biggest things here lately was my mom's surgery. And then my car broke down, and it all happened in the same month. I lost my car, My mom was going in for major surgery. I found out my grandpa had cancer. I came home from the hospital and my washing machine had broke and there's water everywhere, and I mean, I just felt like anything that could go wrong did. And I was going to settle for a car, and I prayed, and I had to have patience. That's hard for me. I want to do it now, and I prayed, and he told me to just wait, and I did, and I ended up with the most awesome deal in the car of my dreams. I just had to wait. I had to be patient and wait it out. And then my mom is healed like no one ever thought she would. So her first surgery, she spent 3 days in ICU. We were home in 12 hours after this one. And she's back to driving, and you wouldn't even know she had a brain surgery. It's very, very moving that what prayer can do, and just relying on Him. Life of a mom. Very, very busy. I need about 10 more hours in a day, every day. And I have a hard time relying on others. I want to do it myself. I want to do for others. I'm definitely the let me do this for you person, and I overwork myself a lot when I do that. But I'm a giver, and I like to give, and I like to care for others. Is my thing. Michael becoming a teenager has been an eye-opener for me, but working at the high school, and I see the other kids and I hear the other stories of the horrible, horrible things that they're doing, and I am so thankful that he's not traveling that road. All these parents that worry about their kids and what they're doing on the weekends and what party they're at, I don't have that worry at all. I don't ever have to be concerned with that. Michael is very dedicated to God. Like, his heart is in the church and God and his faith. He doesn't need to party. He's very content with what he has. So, and then Braden is probably my biggest challenge. I adopted him, and not knowing that I was walking into issues that I walked in with his ADHD and bipolar. I had no idea. My 2 children never exhibited that, and then it was just like, whoa, what is happening? But ever since, I've learned to trust God and put faith in Him with that too. Braden's behavior has changed so much. He's calm. He's not angry anymore. And he's even told me he got angry at school, and he said, Mom, I just prayed to God. And at 7, that is unbelievable to me. Because we had that talk of when you get angry, just talk to God and tell Him to help you through the situation. And he came home and told me he did. And I mean, that's moving as a 7-year-old in his state to come home and tell me that. But our whole house is just a whole different house than we had 2 years ago. Propel's definitely got Michael and Jeremy very involved. To have teenagers that want to get up at 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning just blows my mind. But they wouldn't be anywhere else. That's where they want to be. I've never once told them they had to do that. In the beginning, when Michael come home and said, I'm going to be there at 6, I was just like, are you sure? That's early. I'm still in bed when they leave. I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm still sleeping when they leave that house. I don't get up till very much later. But for them to get themselves up and to get dressed and out of the house and to the church by 6 to help, that's because that's what they want to do. Because they enjoy the fellowship they have there. Like, all I hear at home is about the people there. Like, they love everyone. There's no one there that they just don't love. And they love having the responsibility of helping, and knowing that they've helped in the church means a lot to them. And I mean, Jeremy just went and asked, could he please work in kids? And that's all I've heard, is how much he enjoys being in kids. And I never thought that we would be in a church that they enjoyed like that. We went to church when they were smaller, and I had to make them get up and I had to make them go, and it was the most miserable 2 hours of their life. You have to give them paper so they can draw, or candy, or they're over there eating stuff out of my purse, or whatever they have to do to make it the 2 hours that they're preaching. And I don't have to do that anymore. And I mean, Michael, if someone goes down to pray on the altar, Michael is right there with them. He is there. And every time I see that, I mean, it brings me to tears to know that my son is that connected, that he feels okay with going down there and praying with whoever needs his prayer. It brings me to tears every time he does that. And I had someone come up to me out in public that goes to our church and say, did you see Michael go and pray with them? She said, that just moved me. So he's inspiring other ones and other kids, and he's brought other friends with him. And I love that he has no problem talking about how great Propel is and encouraging people to come. Like, he wants everybody to come.